Hi, welcome back to Just Stop Breathing. So today, a kind of continuation of a topic I've touched on a few times, which is feminism and how it's changed to be much more anti-men, but also how it's not changed because certain things in feminism, they still don't kind of switch around. So what I mean by that is these double standards in feminism. I think it probably always has been to a certain extent, especially with the less than fanatical types where they want kind of to have equal rights but they don't want to do certain things, and it's got much worse. Obviously we all know that from things that have been going on with woke era and diversity and games and everything and movies. So the thing I wanted to talk about today is I saw quite a few videos on YouTube and basically what they were women complaining because they'd gone on a date and the guy said he wasn't interested. I've watched the whole of the videos, they weren't very long, and it was 3 or 4 different ones, they weren't on the same channel. And it wasn't that the guy did anything wrong. Basically he turned up and in one instance he just said, look, I'm sorry but I'm not feeling it. That's kind of exactly what he said. In another instance I think he didn't like the way that the lady behaved at the beginning. I think she was late and he said, look, I'm going. And there was a couple of others, very similar. None of the guys were rude. They were all very polite actually. They all stayed. They didn't run away or see someone and just rush off. They all did the right thing, as it were. But the women were upset. And I thought, and one of the women actually was saying, didn't actually see her, but she was saying it's terrible being slightly overweight or chubby because men reject you. And I thought, how do you know it was that? Because women, and I touched on this in a previous video a long time ago, women spend loads of time online on dating sites rejecting men. They think nothing of it, either on the actual site or meeting a guy and telling him no thanks, or telling him sorry you don't look like your picture, or you're too short, you're too fat, you're too bald, anything they can think of, and they think nothing of doing that. They don't care how men think or how men feel, and whether they're nice enough. They just decide they're not interested, and it's fine for them and they don't care. But if a woman gets rejected by a man in the same situation, it's got to be something about how she looks and something personal. It can't just be the guy wasn't really interested in you because maybe you weren't very nice, maybe you were late, maybe there was something else. And even if it is a physical thing, well, women, shock horror, judge men on physical appearance just as much, if not sometimes slightly more, than men judge women. There's far more women that care about whether men are short or tall or fat or bald than men who care whether women are a few different things overweight. So it's just funny how the double standard of that is so bad that women feel they need to make a video. If every man who got rejected by a woman from a date or an online date made a video about how they felt and how the woman treated them, we'd be filled up with videos on YouTube and there would be nothing else on YouTube. So it's just funny. And continuing from that, another thing that I think hasn't changed, and this is from personal experience as well as things online, is that it's not changed that women, especially from online, think that men should still pay on the first date. And no, they shouldn't, because you're on a dating site. It's not maybe if a guy asks you out and he just meets you, maybe, and the same would apply to a woman, by the way. If a woman asks a guy, if a man asks a woman out, or a guy asks a guy out, maybe they should pay because they're the one asking. Maybe. It'd be nice if the other person offered to pay half, but maybe they should pay. That's a different topic. But on dating sites, everyone's on a dating site to date. There's no asking. Everyone is on a dating site to date. That's the purpose of being there, and they're online. So if you meet somebody, it's not your responsibility to pay because you're a guy. Number one, because it's not. We're in the 21st century and we know that women think that they should be equal to men, and they should be, but then they should be willing to pay. And they shouldn't think that men will pay on the first date. Apart from anything else, on a dating site, unlike in a real situation, people on dating sites often meeting a lot of people. some of them seem to flick through people. It's weird actually, they seem to want to meet people and go on a quick date rather than actually talk on the phone. I don't know why. Maybe they can find out if they don't look like they want, because in both cases, women and men, it's all about physical appearance anyway, usually with dating. But so people go on many dates, and it's absolutely ridiculous that women think men should pay, because then on a dating site, men are going to, lots of men are just working normal jobs like women. Some of them have got kids, many have got kids, many of them are supporting families, etc., etc. And if you're on a dating site, men would be paying all the time. So you'd have, one guy might date 6 women, and 6 meals would be quite a lot of money, whereas a woman could date 25 men and have 25 free meals. So it's ridiculous, but despite that, women still seem to think that men should pay. And I've seen it mentioned in different places that a woman was upset meeting a guy on a dating site who didn't offer to pay, or even asked her to go halves. And like, why? You're on a dating site meeting a date. Why would you think that person would pay on a dating site for your dinner? Would you want to pay for his dinner? No, of course not. So it's one of those double standard things, like the first part of what I talked about, with how women view rejection against how men have to take it all the time from women. And it's just funny how in some situations it's almost pushed on everybody now, women who don't really care and men, that women are equal, women can do everything, women are great, women don't need men. But on the other hand, there's still these stereotypes women have, where they still want men to pay or treat them nicely on dates and not reject them. If they want to date you, you can't reject them. But if you want to date them, then they can tell men to get lost, and they can do anything they want. I've even often seen, women saw a guy whom they met from online, and he didn't like his picture, and they just didn't bother going over and saying hi, and they just left. So women do what they want. And if men do, they shouldn't be complaining about it. Anyway, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Just Stop Breathing. Till next time.